Hello, my name is Kira Leach, and I am an aspiring special education teacher. With this Intro to Special Education course, I was able to go through my first placement in a classroom. With this placement, I found myself able to build my first relationship with a student whom I helped, tested, and really got to know. I will be explaining a test I gave the child and her results so I could see her growth and it will allow me to see where she is with her learning. A criterion reference test is a test in which you are simply seeing if the students know the content. With this test, you are judging the quality of a student's work against benchmarks of the expected performance. This testing is not compared to other students. It's about if the individual student has the skills, knowledge, and understandings being assessed or not. The formative assessment is given to the children over the course of the year. Formative assessment is testing in an informal or formal way. This occurs during the learning process in order to improve the student's attainment. It can be represented by this snowman in the sense that each piece of him is another test of some sort given over the course of the year to the student. The summative assessment can easily be remembered because the word summary is pretty much in it itself. The summative assessment is a test, typically at the end of the school year or term, to test what the students have learned over the course of the class they are taking it in. This test is the assessment of the learning and as well as summarizes the development the learners should have gained over time. Triangulation is a way that we as teachers can really find out what learning level our students are at. The first part of triangulation is the formative or summative assessments that we give our students. The top of the triangle represents the criterion reference test, in this sense the Brigance. The final piece of our triangulation is observation of our students, along with conversation with them. With these three pieces, we should be able to better see where our kids really are in their learning. More than one test or chance gives them many opportunities to succeed at the level they should be. My student was given the Brigance math test. This test is given to children to find where their level of math would be considered. It is a straightforward test given to an individual who has read the directions. Along with the directions being read to the children, the person administering the test also points to each section in which they are to complete at which time. This happens until the children get to a certain grade level. Then they read the directions on their own and continue themselves. My child was able to meet the upper second grade level on her Brigance test. She attempted the lower third grade but was unable to continue through it with a passing grade. Personally, I believe that my student, if given the opportunity again and could continue past the one section she didn't know completely, she would be able to succeed further past her level she was at. My student got to the upper level of second grade on her assessment. Because I was made aware of this, I want to further her learning beyond this level. I want her to be able to say, I can distinguish the names of the different triangles. I can multiply and divide basic facts without a calculator or graph. I would plan different lessons and statements for my student to learn and be able to accomplish these tasks. Okay, so today we're going to learn how to do improper fractions. Cassie, tell me what an improper fraction is.
It's a big number that's on top and the bottom number's in.
Good. Okay, so tell me your story for improper fractions. So, the top number is the big-headed Smurf, right? He's got such a big head. Just don't know what to do with his big head. So, with his big head, he topples over. Draw what it looks like when he topples over.
Hard.
Right, good. So with his big head, he fell down, and his shoes followed him. Here's his shoes. Here's his big head. So, how many times does 4 go into 18?
4 times.
Right. And then, what's 4 times 4?
16.
Now what do we do? You subtract 8 from 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's 8 minus 6? Go ahead and write it. So 2. We have 2 remaining. So with the 2 comes all the way up here with the 4. But what goes under it?
A 4.
It's shoes, right?
Yep.
It's got to follow its shoes. Is that in its smallest form?
Nope.
Okay, so what do we have to do? So we have 4. What goes on top?
1.
Right.
I'm not
Good.
good at this at all.
That's awesome. Good job. That is our improper fraction with our Smurf. Because of this placement and my involvement with my student and my professor, I can confidently say I have a great start on what my life as a special education teacher would be like. This placement has made me want to go back and see my students' growth. I want to be more involved now that I am started getting involved. I'm glad I was able to be placed in this classroom that I was. I'll forever have this experience as my first placement, and I wouldn't change anything about it. When you are teaching a student who has special needs of any kind, you always have to remember that the child is processing whatever question you are asking them, and then the answer they may answer with. Patience is something you should always have with them. Students may require you to come up with different ways for them to learn. Things like flashcards, research prior to the topic that you're going to discuss, pre-reading things, and fun word games. The student with special needs may just need a more interesting way to learn than the general ed student. With an extra pat on the back or a good job never hurt anyone either.